So in this lesson, we're going to look at two different things, okay? So we're going to look at primary and secondary sources. Now, this primary and secondary sources is something that relates not only to maths, it relates to history and English. So you'll see it multiple times, so hopefully you get really good. And the second part is sample versus censuses, all right? So you've probably heard the word census, and we're going to look at this. So just write the learning goal. By the end of class, we'll be able to determine the difference between primary and secondary sources and what the difference is between sample and census. So let's get on with it. All right, so hopefully you've already watched this video, and that explains primary and secondary sources. It explains it a lot better than I can do in this video, so make sure you do it. If you haven't, please watch it. Okay, so what is census? Well, census is everybody. So every, I think, 5 years, Australia does a census, which means everybody in Australia needs to fill out a survey. Now, you might be saying to me, Mr. Bustos, I've never filled out a survey. The truth is, your parents or whoever you're in that house the night of the survey has to fill in information regarding you. All right, so census is everyone. It's everyone. It's every single person. All right, so the census of this class is every person in your class. Okay, so if I said, give me the census of year 7, it's the census of everyone in year 7. Or if I said the census of year 8, that's everybody in year 8, and so on. Census of year 9, everyone in year 9. Okay, the census of the school is everyone in the school. So essentially, census is everyone, all right? And the one that you get to, so make sure you write all this down. Census of Australia is everyone in Australia, every single person. So census is everyone. And it's really important, and there's a reason why they don't do it every year, and it's because it's really difficult to chase up everybody every year, and it's a lot of money and a lot of information out there. Okay, next one, sample. All right, now a sample is just a portion of the population. Population is the same as census, it's everyone. All right, so I can say I need to survey 10 students out of year 8, or 10 students out of year 7, or 10 students out of year 10. All right, that's a sample. Instead of surveying everybody in a year group, I'm picking a few students to see how we're going. Now, there's different types of samples. I need you to write this down. There's a random sample, which an example of that is using a random name generator or picking somebody out of a hat, all right? There's no rule to it. It's just like, let's see what comes up, or you shuffle a deck of cards and you're all assigned a card, and you pull it out. That's random. There's a systematic sample, and there's systematic samples. There's many ways that you can do it, but essentially there's a system to getting it. So, for example, here we go. You choose every 5th person on the roll, okay? Or every person born between the 12th and the 15th of every month. And in actual fact, that's the way that governments have done in the past, where they've chosen people to go to war. When they've conscripted you, which means that you have to go, they use a system, all right? Because they didn't want to be seen to be biased or like choosing sides, so they just chose a system. So maybe everyone that was born in November has to go to war. You know, things like that. So there's a system to it. So it's systematic. And the last one is stratified example. Okay. Now, stratified example is like a ratio of it. So, for example, if there are 60 girls and 40 boys in year 8, and I choose 10 students, I will choose 6 girls and 4 boys. All right. So I can't choose more boys than girls. I have to choose in the same ratio. So they are chosen with the same ratio. And this one's really important because, like, if I wanted to survey everybody in the school about uniform and I only picked girls, I'm not really surveying the whole school. I'm surveying the girls in the school. So a stratified sample is actually really important. Okay, so just think about that. Okay, census or sample. All right, so this is an example that we can do together. I don't know what happened there. A sample, census is everyone. So if I did a census of 7B, it means I surveyed everyone in 7B. Okay, so remember, census is everyone. All right, if I sample is just a part. If I did a sample of this class, it means I chose I chose 3 students of the class. All right, and we do that a lot. We always do sample. And we do that with SRC. We do it whenever we represent that. We do in government. We have people that go, all right, we need some people from this electorate to go into government and explain things. All right, so sample is just a part of the class. All right, one more example to go. If I pick students with the last name starting with B, C, G, and H to do a survey on homework, what kind of sample is it? It's definitely a sample. And it looks like there's a system to it. So I would say it's systematic, all right? Not random, doesn't look like it's random. They're not drawing a name out of a hat or anything like that. And there's no sort of like ratio to it, okay? All right, same question. If I pick students by picking their names from a hat with all the names in it, well, I talked about this. What kind of sample is it? It's random, all right? It's just like, that's luck of the draw, and let's see how we go. All right, well, that's the end of this lesson. Hope it makes sense. Peace out.